Welcome to Drew's Baseball Crew, an exciting day in the history of the sports crew. We are live on YouTube for the first ever time. I want to thank, the Melon app, as you see him in the corner here, for making this possible. Look, this is something, again, never done before here on Drew's Sports Crew. Got to thank the Fantasy Football Network. They actually came on an episode of Journey to a Million last week, and they talked to me about the Melon platform. Looked through it. I loved what I saw, and we made it. I mean, this is an exciting day, and I'm just really thankful, just to have this opportunity to live stream here on YouTube. As we've been on just doing the audio clips and just still images on YouTube for the last year and a half. So we finally, move in here on YouTube live stream. Don't worry, you can hear the audio still on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, wherever you are listening. You can hear it there. And I mean, this is just awesome moment here. And look, we got some baseball to talk about today, and that's gonna be where we are going. You see in the bottom here, join Drew on Phantasia Sports. And there's a lot of great things that is going on. Actually, I had Scott was a guy who came on from Phantasia Sports a few weeks ago. He sent me a message that, if new users who sign up with my code, which will, again, is in the description, as you can see, if you sign up with it, you make your own league. You fill a league with 8 members or more, and it's a paid league. Keep in mind, guess what Phantasia will do? They will reimburse your league up to $50 for the entry fees. So who doesn't like free fantasy football is my question. So the future of fantasy sports, Phantasia Sports, makes that possible. Again, use that link down below. It's free to sign up. It's nice and easy, and I also have a league. It's a non-PPR league. I know that's not popular among many, but I decided to, why not? I mean, I've been doing fantasy football since like 2015 and have never done a standard league. And, it feels long overdue. So we are doing it like that. And I know I started a little early. Just want to make sure everything is working right. So let's check it out right now. And looks like it is working well. So yeah, I mean, with that, let's keep moving here. Let's talk about the slate we got going on. So August 2nd slate, right? I mean, it's a Tuesday slate. We're looking ahead already because look, I mean, trade deadline's happening. I know games are happening right now, but we're looking ahead and going through the slate, right? I mean, I'm using Phantasia Sports to make this lineup. It's a free entry lineup. You win their native fan token. I talked about it with Dan today on the Monday episode here of the Sports Crew, episode 73. So go check that out here on the YouTube. It's an audio version, right? This is the first episode with a live stream. So, I mean, with that, again, just go check it out. But lineup-wise, going through the slate, right? Free entry. You get 50,000 in a budget, and it's kind of like a DraftKings lineup is how I explain it. It's not your standard FanDuel one. You get 2 pitchers, and then you just have right catcher, first base, second base, third base, shortstop, then 3 outfielder spots, or DH basically is how you roll it. And yeah, I mean, going through it, the slate for the pitchers, right? I mean, I always like to look to start, where are the Colorado Rockies playing? They are playing not at Coors, so don't have to worry about a Coors slate here, thankfully. And actually, I mean, first game that's really big to me was Cincinnati Reds. They are visiting the Miami Marlins, and we know how that park plays in Miami does not fare well for hitters. And again, Miami's offense not looking great. And then, as we also did get word, Tommy Pham is no longer a Cincinnati Red, right? Graham Ashcraft is pitching for them, but Tommy Pham will not be in that lineup against Braxton Garrett. So that, really makes you want to take Braxton Garrett. His career versus the current Cincinnati Reds roster, use in Baseball Savant, because that's what we use here. The XBA, expected batting average, 216 with an xWOBA, a 256. I am telling you right now, he will be my first pitcher on this lineup. We are going to be welcoming Braxton Garrett to the team. So that is the first guy I'll be adding here. And yeah, I mean, let's keep going here for the lineup. I actually don't see him on Phantasia right now, so I got to look into that. But Yeah, I mean, Graham Ashcraft's another good one. So if you want to take, I'd say pick one of those guys. I take Ashcraft or him there for this lineup. Also, looking at some other matchups on Tuesday, got some more with, I mean, Jacob DeGrom, the story, he's making his debut. That's the other one. And you don't know how many innings you're going to get out of him, but again, he looked like Jacob DeGrom in his rehab start. So I'd certainly, if you're feeling a little risky, right? If you want to stand out from others, go ahead, take Jacob DeGrom. Let's see how that goes. Also, you got Logan Gilbert against the New York Yankees, which same time might not sound the most appealing, but again, his XBA against them right now, 22 plate appearances, is 167. So StatCast numbers look pretty good there for Logan Gilbert. So if you want to go against the Yankees, that's kind of crazy though. But Corbin Burns is going against the Pirates. Look, I mean, that's going to be one of them I'm taking for sure. Always got to go with Corbin Burns here. And that would just be one I am looking into. Other matchups to include, right? Zach Gallen is pitching against the Cleveland Guardians. That's a matchup I would be looking at as well. There, so let's look and add him. There, I'm going to add him to the team as well. And basically, those are some pitchers I'll name. Going through other ones. I mean, there's some guys who I don't really, not a fan of, like Keegan Thompson against the St. Louis Cardinals. That actually might be one, I'm looking to stack against there. Some good numbers for Cardinals hitters against Thompson for his career. Cutter Crawford's making his debut against the Astros. Not one I'm not really looking at. And keep in mind, Boston's been trading people. So Christian Javier actually is looking like a pretty good option right now. Who knows if JD Martinez is there? As of the time of this recording, he is still there. But who knows, right? I mean, that's something to keep in mind. Christian Vasquez, I saw, just got traded to the Astros. So he had to walk across, he had to just walk across the field into his new dugout. So love when that happens in baseball. Other guys, I mean, Tyler Anderson has great numbers against them, but I'm always looking at a guy I'll get to later here, Darren Ruff, who we just know mashes left-handed pitching, so he's going to be a guy I'm just looking at to add to the squad. But yeah, I mean, that'll wrap up the pitcher matchup here, right? You got some stars pitching, you got some guys who are more streamer-like, but let's go. Let's talk some hitters here on Tuesday night. And if you're listening to this either live here on Monday night, and I'm going to have this up hopefully tonight, also Monday night, then for, the audio platforms, because used to be we'd record it, have it up on the audio right away, YouTube, but that would be the one. Now it's kind of backwards here, which is interesting. So let's go through it here. I want to add Ian Happ as a guy to take tomorrow against Adam Wainwright, but gets a little scary because we don't know if Ian Happ is going to be a Chicago Cub. I would guess he wouldn't be. So maybe you add him right now, and then before it locks, you can change it, because that might be my approach with this. And again, I'll be posting my lineup, my finalized lineup, on social media. And you can use this use this for Phantasia, right? Make a Phantasia lineup with this. So other guys, Lurie Garcia against Brad Keller of the Kansas City Royals has a 333 average off of him, and has some good numbers. If you're looking points wise, walked, and that's got to look at. Javi Baez against Chris Archer, 9 for 17, and that's a 529 average. OPS over was at 1300. So certainly, if Baez is in the lineup, want to use him. Miguel Cabrera also against Archer. Look, Archer's been kind of rough this year. He's given up a lot of home runs. Remember, Brewers faced him last Wednesday, took care of him. Rowdy Tellez, have yourself a day. Yes, I mean, there's one right there. There's a lot of guys, going through more of them. Eric Hosmer against Jose Urena. I know it's not at Coors, right? So I'd make that more appetizing, but still a guy I'd look at. Wilmer Flores against Tyler Anderson has a 385 clip against him, and has only struck out twice. There's another guy there. Don't have to worry about Wilson Contreras. I should add that when I was talking Cubs because, if he gets traded, might be better. He has a career average of 200 off of Wainwright. So, maybe we're okay with him not being, on the Cubs for tomorrow. I got to give you guys more catchers though, and I got one for you. Will Smith. I know he's expensive. I know he usually is. I understand it, but he has great career numbers off Alex Wood, who he's facing. His OPS is around 1,000, so that's a good number there. Other guys, I get scared. So Omar Narvaez, rumor has it, he's getting chopped right now, is what Twitter is telling you, and he's against Bryce Wilson tomorrow, and that's pretty favorable matchup if you ask me for a guy like Narvaez. Odds are he'll get the start, but I really don't think they trade him. I don't know. You guys can comment your thoughts, but I just don't see it. Pedro Severino's not eligible for postseason play, so just doesn't seem likely for a guy like him to be moved, but maybe that's just me. I'm looking at the Tigers stack, as you can tell by some of the guys I've mentioned. Tucker Barnhart at catcher against Chris Archer, has done well. We'll go to first base. I'm going to go position by position now and mention highlights of guys I maybe have not talked about. So going through some other ones, if you do not take Graham Ashcraft, you want to go against him. Lewin Diaz of the Marlins, if he's pitching, or not pitching, if he's hitting, you might want to go with him. That just seems like a favorable matchup there. Other guys, first base is kind of tough other than the other one. So I'm trying to give you my best answer. If you want to go stars, you can always go Paul Goldschmidt, right? I mentioned Miguel Cabrera. I mean, it's more of a cheaper option. Rowdy Tellez, he's in kind of one of those streaks right now where maybe it wouldn't hurt taking him, right? Rowdy can give you a couple home runs. Colton Wong is a guy who's also supposedly on the market, also against Bryce Wilson. And then for the Pirates, I like that matchup too. Wong has done some great damage there. And right now, him batting maybe out of the fifth spot, that could lead to some great RBI opportunities. If you want to take, Brewers have put up a lot of runs against the Pirates, and they're at PNC Park as well. So could be favorable there. Up to you. Jonathan India is a guy who's heated up too against Braxton Garrett. So if you're taking neither of the guys, or maybe one or the other, Jonathan India is a guy to be looking at as well. Let's name some others here. If I can, it gets tough. It gets tough. Gleyber Torres, is a guy too against Mariners. Just throw his name out there. Guy I might be interested in. Then next position, going through it, Nolan Arenado still, if you want to take him against Keegan Thompson as well. Luis Urias against Bryce Wilson. I'm going to throw a lot of Brewers in there because it seems they're going to have a lot of top matchups, for Tuesday, if you're feeling. But still, my favorite at third is definitely Wilmer Flores. I would be taking him. At short, let's go to the position here. Javier Baez is going against Chris Archer. We mentioned that one already. I love that one. That's my favorite by far. Nico Horner against Adam Wainwright. Could be taking that. I don't think Horner's getting moved. I would be shocked if he got moved. So there's potential there. Bobby Witt Jr. in his young career is 2 for 3 with a homer off Giolito. Again, really small sample size, I understand, but why not? Why not take a shot at that upside there? It depends what Witt's going for. Phantasia, they have his salary through the roof right now, so got to keep that in mind. Other ones, I'm staying away from national hitters. I just don't know what we're going to see out of Jacob deGrom, and if it's Jacob deGrom that I expect, yikes. I mean, that's going to be not a good day for national hitters. Carlos Correa against Tariq Skubal. We know Skubal has had problems with control, and he's been kind of inconsistent. So maybe, with that Twins offense, guys like Buxton, Correa, even Jose Miranda, that's a guy right now who is just breaking out right now for the Minnesota Twins. We'll go to outfielders here I might just talk some other MLB news before we wrap up here on this Monday night. Outfielders, going through them. And we kind of touched on some of them, but more of them. Charlie Blackmon is a guy. He's against Yu Darvish in one of the games, so I'd be looking. I'm fine with that. Taylor Ward. Yeah, I know Taylor Ward has not been Taylor Ward this past couple months, but favorable matchup against Cole Irvin. 3 for 5 against him for his career with no strikeouts, and that's out of 6 plate appearances. Can't include Tommy Pham here. Really wanted to, as 333 average against Braxton Garrett, but yep, unfortunately we cannot here. Other ones there in the outfield with the eligibility. Nomar Mazara, who's gotten some time there with the Padres. Depending if he gets in there, he's a guy to be looking at. Corey Seager, I'm just throwing a shortstop out there now, I know, but against Jordan Lyles, because Seager was banged up past few days. It sounds like he's gonna be good to go though for these upcoming days, and sounds like for tomorrow for sure. So I'd be looking Seager. I mentioned Darren Ruff already. Depends where they have him. They usually have him in outfield eligibility and wherever you're playing, and that's kind of where Phantasia has him. Or sometimes he's at first too. I'm not sure when it fluctuates, but Darren Ruff always got to take him against the lefty. That's kind of his game. He's an ultimate daily fantasy guy, and you can't go wrong with that. A few more here. We got Ramiel Tapia, right, against Drew Rasmussen. He's the guy everyone knows, right? The inside the park grand slam against the Boston Red Sox. Austin Hayes and Anthony Santander are my last two. Spencer Howard had a really good start last week. It was 5 shutout innings, and Spencer Howard has not been, anything crazy to so far start his big league career. So that was kind of big to see, but I think that was a fluke. So I'm looking Austin Hayes, Anthony Santander is my last two guys I'll throw in. So I know I give you a lot of guys, but I like to kind of give, right? Because, you're not every guy's going to be a hit, right? You got to throw different guys in there. You pick and choose, based on the most favorable options in your opinion is what I like to do. And there's some other great resources as well. I always like to shout out, ballparkpal.com. They do a good job of breaking down starting pitcher simulations. They do that though. The start of each day, you can't be looking ahead. So that's something, if you're looking Tuesday morning, right? You're going through it. Maybe you want to look at what they're doing. They run simulations of the games, and you can kind of see what their sims run out as. For example, let's go right tonight, right? Tonight's action going on. Mike Clevenger, they have him projected to go. What is that? 5.5 innings. So who knows if it's 5, how many outs, 16 outs in between the 17 out range. So you get numbers like that, but then you can kind of see numbers wise. They have him projected to give up 2.1 runs, and then they also have him projected to allow 4.8 hits. And this is something maybe, you're looking at some data, right? You're looking to make some sort of bet or something. You want to kind of verify your numbers. Look, this isn't everything, right? I mean, these aren't always going to be perfect, but sometimes it just helps to see, even with the lines, because odds are we'll go to Aaron Sanchez right now. It says he's starting for the Twins. For example, it says his projected innings is 5 innings. So you can always verify with other platforms and see if, he's projected to go 5 innings is the other thing, which is nice to see. And that this can also be used, of course, on your Phantasia lineup as well. So you can look how these guys are projected to do performance-wise. If you want to get guys who are going to go deeper into games, looking for some strikeouts to rack up some more points, they got John Gray favored at least Monday night to get the most strikeouts with 6.1 against the Baltimore Orioles. And so it kind of takes into account, right, the opponent, the K rate of the opponent, just overall, all that good stuff. So it's always good to use. Love that for Ballpark Pal. Shout out to them. But yeah, I mean, trade deadline news, that like I said, that's kind of a big deal right now for, of course, baseball as a whole, but you got to look daily fantasy because some guys just line up. If it happens for a game, they're going to be starting other guys, and just those questions that happen with daily fantasy sports. But yeah, I mean, best of luck to everyone rolling out their lineups tomorrow. If you're rolling out one tonight, hope you're winning some money, and you got to join Phantasia. You can win some money on there. I mean, I mentioned the league stuff at the start. I'm going to mention it again. Sign up with the link in the description. Guess what happens? You get to make your account, right? You get your stuff. You join a league. What happens is, well, if you make your own league, and you get people to join, all your entry fees reimbursed up to $50. You need to have 8 or more people in it. So it doesn't get any better than that. If you fill a league, I believe it's 10 or more for the filling the league, you get entered into a raffle. And Dan told me, Dan, who he is the founder of Phantasia Labs, so the parent company, right, of Phantasia Sports, he told me that there are still spots. You can win a $250 Uber Eats gift card. Throw your tailgate, your draft party, I guess you want to add it. You want some Buffalo Wild Wings, you want whatever, right? You can throw that with Phantasia. All you got to do is sign up. $5 entry fee for a league. Come on. And it gets even better. We talked about it already today. They take care of all the entry fees. So all you do, you join the league, you put your money in, and the commissioner. So for example, I'm the commissioner of the league, and I had Zach has journeyed a million, join the league. I didn't even have to worry about collecting his money. I don't have to worry about payouts. So that's just the beauty of what Phantasia Sports has going on right now, and the max prize, the max prize potentially based on how many people join this free contest. I'll be in 43.77 Fant. So the great thing about that, right? We talked about it. That's like the token in game. And, we mentioned the staking rewards. Go check it out. If you're not familiar with you don't even need to be familiar with blockchain technology. That's the beauty of this. We talked about it. Dan and I did this morning. Or this afternoon, I should add, like 22 minutes. It was the episode. Very, very short. So, if you're time crunch, just give it a listen. You can listen whenever, car ride, it's there. It's on Spotify, Apple, all the good stuff on all the listening platforms. A few more announcements before we wrap up here. Next Friday, August 12th, is a live show of Journey to Million. Myself, Drew Skyberg, is going to be joined alongside Zach Roush and Jared Valesky. We'll be at Pet Skull Brewing Co. in Manitowoc. We are finally bringing the live show closer to home, so go check it out, and it will be a great time. 7 o'clock, it starts. We'll be talking a Packer season preview. We'll be doing a full fantasy football preview, so we'll be giving you basically all the info we got for fantasy football. Everything. We've been doing it each and every week. We've been talking breakout candidates, busts. We'll be talking. We've talked sleepers. We've talked. We've done positional previews. We've gone by each position. We've made rankings. We've done a lot of work on this. So why not take our advice? Why not take what we have? We're trying to give you the edge to win draft day, win your league. So again, go check that out next Friday. We're also giving away stuff for Thrive Fantasy with Journey to Million. So it's a lot of fun there. And a few more announcements. We are recording live for Journey to Million Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. So be there, be back here on Melon, on the Melon live stream platform. We'll be here and then be back on our YouTube, right? Drew's Sports Crew. We still have hats available. Go check that out. Contact social media. That's up on top here on the screen. And last thing was, I mentioned, hats is the other big thing. We still have hats available. Go check those out. So, yeah, that's going to wrap it up here for myself, Drew Skyber, social medias. We got them all. So, thank you all for listening to yet another episode of Drew's Sports Crew, the perfect podcast for you.